So we're starting this again. This will be the recorded journey we use. I put it up on YouTube and that kind of thing. I'm going to cut off your mics. You can always put them on if you need to. That way we get a better recording quality and sound quality. So kick back and relax and enjoy yourselves and stay conscious. It's your body that goes into the trance state called sleep, not you. Atmas don't need to rest or sleep, which makes it clear why these other beings are so much more advanced than we are, even in the Galactic Alliance, because they don't have to sleep to recharge their bodies. They might sleep 3 hours a night by choice. They don't have to. Remember, those bodies are different genomes, are different than ours. They can gather more energy from the universe. They don't have these blocks, subconscious blocks and otherwise. So they live 1,000 years or 10,000 years or whatever it is. Some of the original people that came to Earth, some of the scriptures on Earth talk about people living 800 years, long time ago. Well, those people weren't from around here. So a lot of that and all those records of who came here when and who did what were never passed forward in history. Mainly because of wars, polar shifts, they're all wiped out, that kind of thing. So as beings, we have the capability to go into record facilities located on various dimensions, various planes, even at other worlds. If we're awake as beings, as Atmas, we can do that. And we can work with master teachers. People on Earth don't even know what computer systems are yet, because they're just in the baby stages of developing AI. There are systems way beyond that. Earth people, meaning the life on this planet, would have access to such gifts of technology developed by you when you were one of them. Think about this, what I just said. So would you deserve it? Cures for diseases or a long life or a change in consciousness, the ability to get in and out of your body at will. These are normal characteristics of normal people on normal worlds. Earth is not one of them. Not by any stretch of the imagination yet. It's way in the dark compared to being normal. So one of the reasons people from other worlds don't just come on out and land in your backyard and get out a man and woman, and say, hi, we're from Nerexalum or we're from Zetranami. It'd scare the hell out of you, number one. Subconscious fears would kick in, number two, and your nervous system would react in ways you would have no control over it. So they don't do much of that anymore. It's kind of a waste of time. It doesn't change the person. It doesn't change people much if they get on a spaceship, have a quick ride, and they're brought back. They still got the same problems, and they don't change. So that isn't really the best thing for people until they're ready to go on such an experience and not only be self-respectful and respectful of the beings that would pick you up, but be able to stay emotionally balanced with them and learn and grow at a rapid emotional and mental and spiritual rate, which we're capable of doing when fear is not involved. Then other higher faculties can turn on and be used, and that's not a big deal. We're always much more brilliant when we go on these journeys because we are then out of this Earth's negatively impacted atmosphere. We're out in the hue in space, which is what makes up all of the space in space that surrounds galaxies, is the omnipresent living power of the universe. It's just massive, it's everywhere. There is far more what people call divine spirit without understanding. There's far more of that omnipresent first sound power out there than all the trillions of galaxies that float in it. They take up very little of that massive space. Very little. So the truth is, the omnipresent living force we are made of and part of is infinitely more vast in size and structure than all of the physical things that float in these different dimensions. This is not something that's taught to people either. When we get out of our bodies and go on these journeys, our IQs, we just literally become geniuses compared to anyone on Earth. Because we're plugging into the omnipresent living intelligence itself, which is really where genius comes from, in case you're wondering. It doesn't come from one life and one brain and one personality on one life. It doesn't come from having a photographic memory. It's from omnipresent living power that we are the same as, and we plug into it, we have access to all of it. So that's what we're doing with the first primordial sound. First half of the word human, hidden in plain sight. But it does so much more than anybody's been taught on this planet, in any organization that's ever existed. Even among those that introduce the hues, there's few of them. And the point is that they don't, because of the way Earth is, they're really not in a position to train people about life out there. They can tell you how it exists in different planes, but getting you there, really waking you up, they don't do that because organizationally they can't and survive in a money-regulated, fear-based world system. So think about it practically and then it'll make sense. So we have to literally not only think outside the box, we have to leap outside the box of Earth in order to recover who we are. And don't think of this as some gigantic state of higher evolution you'll get to in millions of years from now, like some kind of biological evolution. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with recovering what you already are, what you've already had, what you already knew, in faculties and ability before this life you found yourself on Earth with little or no former memory intact. Because everybody got into the same boat here. And for any of you to really understand how that could happen, how this world could become like it is, and why some supreme being would allow it, place yourself in the center of the source behind all life, and then look at it with the conscious understanding of the spherical energy you are, the same as source, and then you'll understand we were all responsible for it. It cannot be blamed on a single person sitting on a throne somewhere. This is the biggest problem with the way religions are on Earth. Not that they don't mean well, but that they don't really focus on training people about the higher heavens they talk about while they're alive. And they don't know it. Most of them are afraid to. There's a few that might not be. So if the world's faiths, spiritual paths, and religions are really doing their job, at some point their followers will leap into direct experience beyond faith, so they become more capable as co-creators with Source, more useful and beneficial in a so-called heaven. Because the way people are on Earth right now, they cannot be utilized in any way practical in the higher worlds. Can they? You're going to bring all their fears and beliefs with them and limitations, and then what happens? They start wreaking havoc in places where havoc does not exist. So this is the big problem. How do you wake people up on a planetary scale? Well, it's a lot bigger than me or all of us in this little group put together to pull that one off. It's bigger than Torellian. Probably even bigger than Zetranami, and that's saying a lot. I don't think it's bigger than silent mentors, but you got to remember they don't normally get involved with individual trainings of Atmas like us. They're busy holding the whole thing together. They don't sleep, they don't rest, they don't have wine parties with their buddies on weekends. They work round the clock 24/7, have no conception of time and space other than watching people trapped in it from outside of it. And they maintain the structure of creation. Between the planes, between the planets, between the dimensions, through the portals, and off to grandmother's house we go. That's what they do. The one place where we can go for the first time in creation, really, since we left Zetranami's realm billions of years ago, to where you can rub shoulders with silent mentors is in the Hue Expansionary Academy. You have to go above the void. You have to step outside of any negative influence whatsoever to rub shoulders with them. Since they have absolute freedom in creation and can be trusted with it, meaning they can be anywhere, on any dimension, on any plane, at any planet, from the highest realm above Source itself to a pebble on a beach in Samoa on Earth. They can be a fly on your tabletop, an ant walking across your hand. And they will do what they do and you won't even know they're there. They're not interested in interacting with you. So these are the guys that are also necessary and were necessary to end the polar flips of this planet, which we talked about before we started the recording. It's classified still. Polar flips happened every 100,000 years, just like clockwork. 6 ice ages in 600,000 years. Figure out what that means. Cultures like Earth, United States, Lemuria didn't last more than 100,000 years, and then they were gone. So, silent mentors recently were compelled or motivated to stop the polar flips of this planet. So that problem's been eliminated. The suffering people are doing on Earth, not knowing who they are and making their decisions every day from some kind of fear, subconsciously influenced fear, puts the world in the condition you see it in right now. It's obvious that it's that way because people are, let's just say they're part of the omnipresent sound behind creation, the first sound or the hue. But they're misusing it. They're channeling it through negative images of fear in the present and future. And so it's neutral. It'll manifest good and bad or both in whatever combination and to whatever degree we imagine in it. And in the past, it would let people, entire planets, blow themselves up if it got that bad. The source didn't have to do it. People did it to themselves. Think about that for a minute. We don't need an alien race of bad guys coming here and wiping out big cockroach ships and cockroaches coming here and eating people and all that. The reptilians, the way people are, they do it to themselves anyway. So something else has to intervene in a planet of knuckleheads, which we are here, in order to turn it into a different direction. And it's a massive undertaking. You have no idea how many planetary spacefaring race systems have to be involved practically to fix planet Earth. It's a big conundrum. 8 billion people who don't remember who they are. That's a big one. And they're afraid to. Do I blame them? No. I know what was done to them. I know what was done to all of us. And we didn't have any choice in the matter. We should have. Somehow we lost that choice. Now it's starting to be, let's just say, new inroads coming into Earth, flowing through our solar system, and beginning the advances of the beginning of true disclosure, which is taking place in the United States as we speak for the first time. Not because of anybody's great free will, awakened ability in government to do it on their own, because they couldn't do it on their own. They had to be protected. They had to have the influence come around and start doing this. They wouldn't have done it voluntarily, let's put it that way. They couldn't. Now they are. When anybody makes decisions based on common sense without fear, that are correct decisions, at least for what we can do right now, in the beginning. They didn't earn this or create this on their own brilliance. The brilliance is being provided to them, and the protection for a few people, because it's necessary. So this is part of the journey. Not only are beings in craft and other things coming here from vast areas beyond Earth in space, and they have been for many decades, they go around being on Earth in completely discreet manners now. They don't do it openly because ships of theirs have been shot down before, and there have been people killed who were completely harmless and were not threatening Earth by stupid people, fear-ridden people, militaristically minded people. And so that kind of thing was stopped. Now, if they want to beam me off the planet without anybody on Earth knowing it, they can do it. They don't even have to land a ship on the planet to do it. So think about that. So what is it they're waiting for, do you suppose? What is it would motivate them to land all over the Earth? Well, first of all the people on Earth have to be prepared through a certain energy that flows into the atmosphere to prepare them to accept it, or they'd all go nuts over it. Won't work. If people hoard toilet paper and paper towels over COVID, what do you think they do with 10,000 Galactic Alliance ships landing on the planet? No preparation, just fear to work on, everybody reacting differently, different belief systems, different governments with different belief systems. What are you going to do with that? 50 countries, 60, 100 countries, none of them work together as one world government. You see the problem. It's a big one. So the logistics are bigger than us on Earth, even boots on the ground. Now, I couldn't have shared this kind of thing with you telepathically a year ago. You had to know enough to be able to understand it. You do now. You've changed more than you know. And that's your doing, by the way. I just make the way available. Show you here, show you there. Look at this over here. There's like this planet. Here's this dimension. And then it changes you. And gradually you begin to be able to do this for yourself. Take a while, but you will. So we're going to do the hue 5 times. And all of you just do it silently inside. You don't have to do it out loud. It has the same effect. It's not the brain that's hewing. It's not your vocal cords. It's you. It is an energy beam, like a telepathic beam of white golden light you send out into the omnipresent power, made of exactly the same thing, and to other beings who know this, like those beings waiting for us for this little journey. So we'll do 5, then we'll begin our journey. Even the most deranged lunatic on Earth leaves their body when it goes to sleep at night. Everyone does, because they're not bodies in the first place. So their derangement is not just about the life on Earth, the body that was raised to adulthood. It's not about that. Those derangements are in the bodies as well. You're running on other planes, like the emotional one on the astral plane, that affect us here. They're your forms. You're the Atma running them. Distortions about removing primary implants and secondary implants is not just about those. Those are beginning steps. It's about all of the fears you've ever created to keep yourself from remembering how you blew up a world accidentally or harmed this life or that life. It goes back many hundreds of billions of years. There's a whole lot involved in helping a being to recover what they are without fear. Because as long as fear is involved in any of it, you will not know. Fear and knowing higher faculties, trustworthy co-creative faculties, do not work with the positive and negative energies of the lower worlds, not without trapping you. There's white magic and there's black magic, basically terms for the positive and negative. Both are traps because they will fight each other. And as long as the consciousness is split in half in opposing forces here or in the lower planes below the void, you're in trouble. That's where Maya or illusion comes into the picture. There's really only one energy behind those two, and it's neutral. Well, yeah, it is, but it isn't anymore because of the Hue expansion ray. It's kind of a manifesting power that began in the Hue expansion ray plane, which had to be built as a new administrative area in the upper realities, and then it comes down into the lower planes, comes down in the ocean of the sound and light, comes down into Agam Purusha's realm, comes down through the realms of these governors of these planes above the Hue Expansion Ray Academy, then down into the Academy, which is recently built in all of eternity, in the last 12 years, Earth time, and then down into Satnam's realm, and he tests things, he looks at things in the lower worlds, and it goes down into the void, splits into two currents. It's an illusion. They're really one energy running both currents, which appear to be opposed to each other. But it's the consciousness of the being that's split in half that makes them opposing forces. In reality, they're supposed to be used like the yin and yang symbol. Two teardrops, one black, one white, circling around each other, encompassed by a golden energy. So that they're always working in harmony to manifest things. You don't get repercussions in time, space. You don't get karma when we create that way. Whatever we do with split currents and split consciousness becomes our responsibility. And we have to fix that. We have to be reunited within our own being so that our imagination only chooses, to the best of our ability, to imagine that which is good for us and all life, so that we look at that in the present and the future and not with fear in the present and future. That kind of thing just perpetuates itself. We've been doing it for billions of years. It's about damn time it stopped, if you ask me. So when you are above your body, as you are now, all you have to do is switch a little switch. Realize it's the same thing as imagining going to the grocery store, which is not done in your brain as you're taught growing up on Earth by ignorant people who really don't know how it works at all. They make stuff up, theories, and then teach it in universities to people like it's fact, knowing that it is not. It's theory, like the Big Bang Theory, which already is not used in circles in universities and in classified areas because they've seen far enough deeper into the universe now to know that that Big Bang idea doesn't work. It never did. So the universe didn't get created under that theory. That's already gone. And that's what extraterrestrial beings have made inroads to certain people here to get them to see a bigger picture. First through quantum physicists and through other people practically. It's a multidimensional creation. There is no such thing as a speed of light limit. It was made up by people who looked at the atmosphere and Earth and saw light bouncing off the H2O from one point to another and said, there's our limit. So they came up with these energies like infrared and ultraviolet and X-rays out in space. Those are just different forms of the same energy. There's no limit to the speed of light. It doesn't take billions of years for the light from the suns to get to us. That's the whole idea that we can never visit people from other planets because they're too far away and we can't get there going at the speed of light. Self-fulfilling prophecy, a self-entrapping delusion. They made it up and create it, teach it to people so they think inside the box and not outside of it. Beings from outside of Earth do not think like people on Earth. They don't grow up with such limited concepts being taught to them. So when you imagine going to the store, you're now on the up by the ceiling, a spherical being, you're an Atma, looking down on the body. Same thing as seeing yourself go to the store, and then the body gets in the car and goes to the store. But what people don't know when they're doing that is that it's not the brain that's imagining going to the store in the first place. That's the little bit of a difference that changes the switch, begins to enlighten us again. We begin to remember how things really work. There are two beings, a man and a woman, male and female, let's say, because these are not DNA Earth bodies. They look like them, well dressed. Projection from the Atma. They're both hovering beside each of you. They look like Shantial and Tontial and Dantian and Lamtian and many others. And they're there to keep your subconscious mind, which you still have, anything in it, not just primary implants, secondary implants. There's more to it than that. Keep it turned off for the journey. They do it for you. It's a service. It's effortless for them. They know you can't just be shocked out of being free of a subconscious mind, because without proper conditioning and training, as you recover your higher faculties by dropping fears that keep you from accessing them, we also have to acquire the wisdom to use them correctly, or we would get right back into the same trap all over again. Pointless. The beings we're going to work with in space do not waste their time that way, not anymore. When they give you a gift to help you over a rough hurdle, to remember who you are, they're doing it because they know you'll keep it. Or they'll wait till you're ready when they know you'll keep it. Very simple. When you get to the point where you understand consciously that you can choose whether you want to fear the present and future or not, turn it off or on, simply by switching your attention to something wonderful from fear, you're beginning to wake up. Because we're supposed to be masterful over everything in the lower worlds of time and space, particularly things like fear. It's artificial and implanted in people. It's not even a real Atma emotion at all. Fancy that. Subconscious mind is artificial and implanted as well. It's not supposed to be there. Only tyrants create such things in beings to control them. And there have been many of those over billions of years. You are projecting out in front of the Atma you are, the spherical being. It's on the front cover of the Emerald Doorway book in plain sight. Exactly what we really look like for the first time, printed on a book for people to see on Earth. It isn't even in monasteries in Tibet, that image, or anywhere else on Earth that I've ever been able to discover. It's that suppressed. People can't even understand what they call soul, what it looks like, what it is, where it is. So we are spherically in the image of the source itself, not anatomically like a human. That would be very limiting now, wouldn't it? Since most human beings have four-stranded DNA and are much more advanced than this two-stranded stuff we have on Earth. Who would want to say that's in the image of God? Very limiting indeed. We don't have any right to limit what the source behind all life knows or does, any more than we have the right to limit ourselves. But we're very good at it, aren't we? This is what the meaning of the word or term God's clothed in rags means. A spherical being that thinks it's a body with no memory, that's a God clothed in rags. Right? So what are we doing? We get dropping the rags. Who needs rags all around them forever? I don't. You're showing about a 36-year-old, if you're a woman, perfectly beautiful woman. If you're a man, like Marshall and myself, it's perfectly handsome. It is not Earth, it's extraterrestrial form. In fact, it's before that. It's prototype human form. We call human, 2 arms, 2 legs, well dressed, the whole bit. But it existed before the lower worlds of time and space were built, and before we started playing with running bodies outside of those bodies. Catch my drift? I'm not supposed to be stuck in them, no memory how to get out of them. And we get out of them every night and can't remember? Wow. Well, that's planet Earth for you. For now. There's a white golden pastel light flowing effortlessly and calmly right through your ceiling. It's passing through the white core of your beings, all of you. It's passing through the perfect physical form you show each other, which is how you show another Atma what you choose to look like, in other than in a recognizable form like a human body form, instead of just a sphere. Atmas fully awake can recognize the differences between the Atmas, but it's easier to have a form through which to relate. But the original form we're talking about here was not a body. It wasn't DNA or atoms. You get that one mixed up playing in the lower worlds, and then you don't even know where that original one is anymore. A flash of light finds us all in space. We are now in a circle of beings around Ambassador Torellian. Why him? Number one, because he volunteers to do it regularly. He doesn't do it by someone forcing him. Satnam doesn't tell him to do it. The source doesn't command it. Or any of these beings to do what they do. But you got to remember, they don't have subconscious minds, and they do not make decisions based on fear in any way, shape, or form. So we're out amongst these beings, and it rubs off on us. As the hue comes through them without the limitations, it passes through us. It begins to sort out all the blocks and things in our being that limit our ability to know who we are as a spherical part of the source itself and how to operate in the multidimensional creation. We're supposed to be able to do that normally. Torellian's 18 feet tall body he shows you is his perfect form that he chooses to show you. He doesn't have a physical body, doesn't need a physical body. I don't even think he has an astral, causal, mental, or an etheric body. He's integrated them all. So when he appears to show you a body, he's simply manifesting it out of the omnipresent power. Fills the DNA stored in one of the teardrops of the Atma, which is not nuclear or atomic, it's not atoms, and it builds around that pattern. Instant body. And then he can deal with us here, go on journeys, be the central focus for the journeys, keep us all focused in the same way. That's what he does. Effortless for him. When he wants to use a body to demonstrate, meet someone, carry out a mission, or be with us here, he just manifests it. But when he's done with this journey, he'll put it away like a child puts their toys in the toy box. He's not burdened with eating, going to the bathroom, or having a body wear out or be affected by gravity, age, or anything like that. Now, this is normal for him and all the Sayrays. They were human. We get our DNA, as do all the Galactic Alliance extraterrestrial races in any form, from the Sayrays originally. Long time ago. Very long time ago. They immortalized the bodies in this way by dematerializing the bodies, physical bodies they had. They didn't burn them up or destroy them. They just broke the bonds and separated the molecules and stored them as a pattern in energy, like storing an electron in a computer. So the whole race immortalized their bodies at the same time. They got to the point where they didn't need them anymore. So here he is in space, and we're in a circle of beings standing around him. Marshall's to my left, and Margaret's to my right, and Susan's just past Margaret further over. This was your choice. You just show up in the circle wherever you wish to be. I'm just pointing it out to you. There are other master teachers. The couple from the Galactic Alliance is standing beside each of you. Kind, loving, caring. You all three Atmas are hovering above the forms you're showing each other, standing in a circle around Torellian. This big, beautiful Atma's hovering around Torellian's form he shows you. Et and Din, Drens, silica-based, are hovering above them with their tails glowing. 3 foot long from their tip of their nose to their end of their tails, standing upright on hind legs. They got a thumb and 4 toes like a human, a thumb and 4 fingers like a human, but they aren't human at all. Pale green skin, big bulbous blue eyes, cute as the dickens. They learned how to levitate and fly through the air. So they're showing you, because there's an Atma hovering above them, they're showing you what their bodies look like on Oceania. We're Master Opelum's standing to the right of Margaret. He's from Oceania. He was the original founding sponsor of the entire Galactic Interdimensional Alliance of Free Worlds, 500,000 years ago. And he's still got that body hanging out on Oceania, unaged. That's a different kind of immortalization. The Zetranami's couple from Zetranamon 1 are standing on the other side of Marshall. In between him and Ramu, standing near Earth. Opelum's on the opposite side, further out in space. And up above Et and Din is Satnam. He's just standing there. It's a shock to me still that he even, surprised, let's say, that he even shows up. He kind of comes down the bottom of this portal that connects above the void to his realm. And he stands there in the energy coming from his realm into our own. So that vortex is already created when we start one of these journeys. Why? Because we need energy that has no negative nature mixed with it, flowing through us, out in space in the pure hue, outside of the terribly negative energy stored in Earth's water vapor and oceans, in the H2O. Everything done by people to people, to people to planets, to animals, to everything done, sea life, birds, on Earth, is recorded in its atmosphere. It does not leave it, does not go out in the hue. It was done that way originally so that we could be trustworthy caretakers and custodians of worlds and all life on them. To care for them, to help raise them into higher genetic forms. Help the Atmas running those forms evolve, be more capable. That's what we're supposed to be doing. That's what beings on other worlds normally do. Most of them out in space that aren't Earth. They don't expect to meet a man and a woman from another planet that look and that act like you or think like you. They don't. They don't eat like people on Earth. They don't even dwell on things as people on Earth do. They don't have deeds of trust to their homes or own acreage. All man-made. They don't worry about their property being ripped off. It's allocated to them. They don't have to earn it or pay for it or go to a job and pay taxes to get it. Because in more advanced worlds, there's no such thing as money or taxation anyway. Kind of stupid, isn't it? So Earth is going to need help in every one of these areas in order for it to be transformed. So it is normal. I think we're going to pay a little visit, all of us together. First, we're going to go near the center of the galactic core of this galaxy. Not in it. It's not in what people call the black hole, which they know now even in higher scientific circles on Earth, it's not a black hole at all. It just appears dark because we can't see it. It's really a powerful white golden light running up the shaft of the axis of each galaxy. And that connects to other galaxies and connects to other dimensions. They're doorways. Of course they are. Silent mentors run all that. Keep it all in place. They don't interfere with individual beings on individual planets or anything like that. The sound out here is humming under your feet, all around you. It's a deep humming, almost like thunder, but calm and consistent. No lightning. Sound the physical universe makes, the hue makes, in all of the 144 parallel dimensions that make it up. Before you even get to the astral plane, the emotional realm, where all matter is moved by emotion. Feeling moves matter there. On Earth, it's effort pushing matter against matter. As you go up the planes, it becomes more effortless to create. The positive and negative illusion in Maya trap is still in those planes, even up in the etheric, to much less of a degree in the etheric, but still some. So beings there, as advanced and masterful as they are, don't really have the inspiration or the drive to go above the void and go back home and complete their journey. So the trap isn't just about Atmas not knowing that they are on Earth. It's about not knowing what they are or their potential in the etheric as well, just before the void. Torellian has his thumbs up with his fist closed. There's a golden white light around each fist, about a foot thick, and it's glowing. You can see that it's affecting the energy of the hue around us, which is not as bright white golden light as the energy around his fist. And it's creating an oval, transparent, golden, luminous, like a hull of a spaceship. Like metal, but transparent. That's so we can all go on this journey and stay together and stay focused. There's a lot of influences in this universe. You don't want influencing this journey. So we do it this way. The energy coming down through the Atma Torellian is coming from Et and Din. It's coming from Light Sea even higher up, and it's coming from Zetranami. Right to this portal that's been created between the physical universe, bypassing the astral, causal, mental, and etheric. It goes right into the void, up to Zetranami's realm, into the U Expansion Ray Academy, and yes, all the way up to Source itself. If you can imagine a vortex doing that, the Atma, being godly like the Source, has the ability with others to create such a portal. Silent mentors are also involved. You'll see two couples that are silent mentors hovering beside Zetranami, a little taller than him. Bigger, the Atmas are about the same size, 4 times bigger than us. Twice as many teardrop-shaped layers of the spectrum of light in each. Hovering above a body form that has a single colored dress like gown on, alternating male and female, male and female. Long hair to their shoulders, different colored hair, different skin colors, no facial features. This is as far as they'll go in revealing a form you can recognize, other than the Atma they are. But it has no facial features. It's a white golden light where their face would be. And when you look into it, you see all the planes of creation, one on top of another. They live in that kind of consciousness. Silent mentors do. And they're here, kind of preempting our journey. They normally don't, let's just say they're not really stepping into the physical universe through this portal. They're joining Zetranami beside him. They already operate everywhere in the physical universe. There's billions of them. But these two couples normally don't come down here. There's a flash of white golden light from Torellian's thumbs. And this whole oval ship hull is shot through space between the Earth and the Moon in a blur of like a beam of light, much faster than the speed of light as it's known on Earth. And we find ourselves suddenly stopping, looking down on the Milky Way galaxy from out in space in the hue above it. We can see the Andromeda galaxy off to our left. You can see these, what are called, they're little spherical star systems, like little galaxies above the Milky Way. trying to think of the term. Globular clusters, they're called in astronomical terms. There's a lot more to it than people think of on Earth. And there's life in amongst all those stars as well. So we suddenly find ourselves moving as this oval sphere of light around us. We're going all the way towards the galactic core of the galaxy, and then we're moving about a third of the way out of the galactic core, and we suddenly stop high above a planetary system. You can see there are 3 suns, a trinary star system, and a number of worlds in orbits around these 3 suns. We are looking down on a particular planet in a particular orbit. It is 4 times bigger than Earth. It has no polar ice caps. It has 3 planets the size of Earth with no polar ice caps orbiting it in different distances. They all have certain dome cities on them. There's life. The 3 suns and the way they work in life and genetic life like that in other world systems makes it so that these worlds do not have polar ice caps. They don't have violent oceans. They don't have earthquakes. They do not have tornadoes. They do not have volcanoes. These are regulated worlds, operating as they should. You can see the ocean, which is like a golden ocean, golden blue, luminous, calm all around this planet, several continents near the equator. The clouds are like a pale lavender pinkish cloud color. And as we move down through them, we can see that the H2O that makes up the clouds are luminous. A lot of the hue is stored in them and around them. We find ourselves stopping to hover above a huge, long, curved, white dome. Looks like a stone glittering with little golden particles. It's translucent, means we can see images inside it. It's not completely transparent. There's a botanical paradise around this. Slim pyramid buildings, spherical glass kind of buildings with tripod legs, more waterfalls and orchards and gardens around these city structures than you'd have in any metropolis on Earth or even in a small country city. They don't build skyscraper here and stack people on top of each other. There's a spaceport in the distance against a slow mountain range. There's a 10-mile-long Galactic Emerald Star cruiser parked on a big, looks like the shape of the ship, but bigger. It's about a foot thick. It's made of a blue material. It's just landed there. And we find ourselves moving down through the top of this dome, and we're hovering near the ceiling around Torellian in the next instant. There is a blue disc-like stage down at the center of this Colosseum-sized area. Level upon level, higher each one, of concentric white stone floors with white leather-like chairs on it, and 5,000 Galactic Alliance council members standing in their white robes with their gold sash from the right shoulder to left hip. Different races, not all human, standing to greet us. They see us there appear. Torellian has informed them of our arrival. He stands down on this stage. All of us are in a circle up near the ceiling, observing things. Some of the beings that are running bodies on this Galactic Alliance Council are 50, 60,000 years old. Unaged. No big deal. Some are 1,000, some are a few hundred. He opens a big book made of some kind of paper-like metal. It's kind of got a blue cover, bluish cover. Big golden letters says the Seres Agenda. You can read it in English. It's not my agenda. And when he opens it, you see these metallic pages, and they've got these fire letters dancing on them. like lines of text, but you can't read them. Turns the page and there's more lines of this stuff moving. The only way you can get the wisdom of what this book does, where it comes from, what's channeled through it, is to allow it to come into you. So as he opens the book, you see one of these little dancing fire letters stop on the page. And whatever it represents is sent into the white core of your being, hovering near the ceiling around Torellian. It makes you smile inside. That's it. And we're up in space, up above the Milky Way galaxy, looking down on it. And you look up and you can see there's Lightsey. Above him, Zetranami, these two couples of silent mentors, and the Atmas they are. And they all just dart up into this wide oval, well, it's oval, it's a circular opening going up into a narrow middle, like an hourglass. There's a blue-green luminous light revolving around the outside of this golden white light. It's a doorway between the physical universe and the void. And we, still inside this oval golden hull of a spaceship triplite, dart up into the opening after them. In the next instant, we're coming out the other end. And the vortex below us, we can see, dwindles to a point and vanishes. We don't need it. We are moving up through the void, which is a brilliant, but I call it a pale cobalt blue light. It's the void. It's just this one hue energy, completely flawless, has no negative nature in it. You can't bring anything here. You can't bring fears. You can't bring a subconscious mind. You can't bring a body. Your bodies are asleep in the trance state back on Earth, where they should be. Now, I mentioned there are a number of other people in the circle around us, around Torellian. There are a dozen other couples from the Galactic Alliance standing between each of you. And we're moving upward at tremendous speed. And we come to suddenly appears in front of us as a white diamond-like beach, as far as you can see left and right, glowing. We're coming right above this beach. Zetranami's in front of us. The silent mentors are there. The trees that line this beach are not like anything on Earth. They could be like bananas or peach trees or fruit trees or palm trees or oaks or eucalyptus trees or redwoods or whatever, but they're all luminous and they're transparent. The energy of the U is moving up the trunks, up and down. Beautiful birds with long V-shaped split tails, luminous of course. Rainbow colored bodies, thousands of colors blended across their feathers. Big blue eyes, twin sets of bird wings, like a dragonfly, I guess you could say. But birds, hovering up out of the trees, and as we move over the top of the trees, they start singing around us, hovering around us. They have Atmas hovering above them like silent mentors, a little smaller, but in that category. They're singing this hue sound with vocal cords, but these are not physical material bodies at all. They're the body forms they choose to show us that are the Atmas that are here. And these beings are singing perfect harmony on multiple levels, the hue. And it's passing through them from higher realities into the void. They're actually the mechanics of creation that maintain the void. They don't get tired, they don't get fatigued. And then they fly back in the trees and perch, and we're on our way. We're going to go up Zetranami's statue fountain, which is right below us now. We've gone over the top of the jungle. In the distance, you can see a diagonal bluestone snow-capped mountain range. And big lapis lazuli pillars laced with gold, holding up a four-sided, golden-sided, quartz-capped roof. And underneath that roof is near the base of the mountain range in the distance. And you can see there's a crystal blue, like a quartz blue or sapphire blue crystalline chair, like a throne chair, underneath this roof, right in the middle of this foot-thick golden luminous floor. Many steps coming up to it, like a temple in Greece or Rome. There's a golden shaft of white golden light coming down into this chair. Zetranami is pointing to it. He doesn't sit in it. I've never seen him sit in it. It's a device. It's a doorway. It channels energy from the source through Zetranami's realm as one of many, and it's sent down into the void and off down into the lower worlds. The sound here is like the high note of a flute. It's not the deep humming of the physical universe sound of the hue. It's always playing a hauntingly beautiful melody. I can barely catch some of the tones. They're so beautiful. And then you look down below your feet and you see that there is a fountain of statue of Zetranami standing inside a blue white scalloped edged, like moonstone or maybe a white granite or something like that. Anyway, he's standing on a square pedestal inside this 15-foot wide fountain. Zetranami, bronze skin, 6 feet tall, tunic dress from his waist to his bare ankles, 2 gold bracelets on each of his upper arms, bare-chested, strongly built, bronze bald head, golden eyes. His palms are facing open, facing downward. There's a shaft of white golden light coming down into this statue. Through his palms, it fills this bowl with white golden light. It's humming as it pours over the outer edge of the scalloped edge of this bowl with radiant light and disappears in the ground behind a circular stone sitting seat. White, 12 scrolled legs, intricately carved legs supporting it. We're going up as a group, up that shaft of light, above the statue of Zetranami. He's pointing upward. Next thing you know, this oval around us darts up into this opening. When we come out the other side, we look down through a similar hourglass-shaped vortex, and then it disappears. And we look around us and we find that we have gone into the Hue Expansion Ray Academy. It's a parallel dimension built between the top of Zetranami's realm and the next realm, the 6th realm, in a specially created parallel dimension. We are in a much more brilliant cobalt blue atmosphere or space surrounding one single circular massive landmass, like an island, floating in this light in the distance. It has a white, luminous, diamond-like beach, brighter than one in Zetranami's realm, surrounding it. There is a luminous blue-green wave curling and breaking constantly on this beach as it orbits or circles the entire circumference and comes back to where it began. Something the silent mentors use to maintain it in this cobalt blue space, which has laced behind it the white golden light of the hue from a higher realm. There is a tower. You can just see the top of it, coming up from the middle of 6 blue stones, snow-covered mountains in the center of this landmass. And we're suddenly projected above it, hovering as a group right above the point. You can see this cylindrical hourglass blue transparent tower coming up about 2/3 to an oval administration area with a fountain in it. Blue scallop stone though, no statue of Zetranami, and up to a minaret point. There's a shaft of white golden light coming down into it. It feeds a crystal sphere with a blue star in it, hovering above a pedestal on a white island at the base of a white island base upon which this administration tower was built. It has a blue-green luminous lake around it. And then you look down and you can see that at the base of each of these 6 mountains are these horseshoe-shaped tunnels glowing. A white stone roadway, straight as an arrow, coming out of each one, goes completely out of each base of the mountain, many of them, all the way around the outer circumference of the Hue Expansion Ray Academy when they end on the beach. You can see roadways like the spokes of a bicycle tire from a hub in every direction. Mountain ranges and waters and lakes and rivers and different kinds of trees and millions of types of animals with Atmas hovering above them, experimenting here in Satnams, in this realm in the Hue Expansion Ray Academy. Some of it is done here, most of it's done in Satnam's realm below. You can see these white roadways. One goes clear straight west to the beach. We've been down it. One goes straight east. One goes straight north. One goes straight south. From up here above this point of this tower, we can see there are 4 clearings, one in each quadrant. These are silent mentor teaching facilities. In the northwestern quadrant, we can see, even from our point far away, because we have like telephoto lenses for eyes, you can see that there are giant weeping willow trees, 12 of them in a circle, around a white stone floor, 100 feet across, with a crystal blue sphere with a cobalt blue star in the middle, hovering above it in the center. Standing above these trees are 12 silent mentors, alternating male and female. This big, beautiful Atma above them. But that's not the one we're going to. We're going to the one in the southeastern quadrant, down the middle roadway between many others above and below it, 2/3 of the way out, and then we're turning left into a clearing. We hover over that clearing and we see 12 trees here too. But these are giant eucalyptus trees, transparent. All the qualities of healing and transformation. This is not atoms, it's not molecules, it's not DNA, this tree. These trees are 12 in a circle. There is a crystalline sphere with a blue star in it hovering above this white stone floor here too. Standing above the top of these eucalyptus trees are silent mentors, alternating male and female. Big Atma above each one, 4 times bigger than us, brighter. And Torellian is hovering in the shaft of white golden light above this crystal sphere with the blue star in the center of this circular clearing. And we're now on the ground in a circle around him, standing on this white marble-like stone, sitting down in a white chair that appears under us, all of us. That includes the beings from the Galactic Alliance and your mentors, your Galactic Alliance personnel that are with you. And we're looking out at these eucalyptus trees, and these silent mentors are about to exchange the pure hue through them. It's going to pass through us in the chairs, the form you show each other that looks perfect, about 36. It's going to go up into the core of the Atma you are, and it's going to go up into Torellian. I'm standing beside him, and up into me and straight up this shaft of light. It's moving through us effortlessly, passing through us a beginning understanding of what it's like to be a silent mentor. Torellian and myself and some other master teachers that are around the center of this shaft of light. You now see it move the other way through us, through all of you, from the blue star and the crystal sphere, right through all of you, the form in the chair, the Atma you are, up to the silent mentors, and up through the top of the sphere they are, and back to source. So there's an exchange between the kindness or care a loving master teacher would have and the unlimited freedom of beings who maintain the mechanics of creation, moving both ways through us. This is a gift. I don't pretend to know what it's going to evolve us to be, but we are becoming prototypes, a kind of being that's never existed before. If you've been around for billions of years suffering in life after life, then maybe we've earned it. And maybe we couldn't earn it. Maybe it's just given to us. But it will make changes in our being that will be for the good of all life. Our destiny isn't just about transforming the earth. It goes on after that, further into the center of all creation, further into God realization, deeper into eternity. It never stops. We're not meant to. And each one of you, the Atma above the body sitting in the chair, now moves. The body stays in the chair. It moves right inside the trunk of a eucalyptus tree. Each one of you. Several of you will go, or 3 or 4 of you will go into one tree. There's 12 trees. There's more than that in a circle. You're just going to find yourself bathing as a spherical Atma inside the trunk of that eucalyptus tree in the hue from source. Then we're suddenly shot up the tree and we find ourselves surrounding Torellian inside this oval golden hull of a spaceship-like light. And we are now projected all the way into the ocean of sound and light, many dimensions above the Hue Expansion Ray Academy. Now we're in a much brighter, fantastically more brilliant cobalt blue space. It can't be described in terms of human colors on Earth. And in the center of it is one single, looks like a galaxy of golden silver light. And there are spherical beings which look like stars at this distance revolving around the center. And in the center is something gleaming more bright than anything else. Above an island in a hollowed out interior. And we suddenly find ourselves darting to this galaxy like light. And then we're passing between beings bigger than anything else we've seen. And the space between the two of them, like 2 stars in space, is very great. We move through it effortlessly. And we pop into this void in the central third of it, and we suddenly stop and hover above this white, circular, luminous island. And hovering above it is what looks like an Atma, but hundreds of times larger. Thousands of more colors and teardrop-shaped layers. And has a white, luminous gold core, just like we do. And you look out into those beings circling this you thought were stars, and you realize those are beings. And then you realize you're one of them. And then you realize you never left. And this is our true nature. So all the bodies and all the things you're running the lower planes, kind of an illusion in a way. But we're supposed to be consciously helping change the lower worlds of time and space to be mirrors of the upper worlds. And we failed, all of us, in this because it's a failed experiment. It was created as an experiment of good and evil, and it failed. It backfired. So the universe and creation has been stultified or stilted or stuck for billions of years and has not changed at all. So you might say that we're here as part of a solution to help change it without destroying it, which has been done before. Then we suddenly find ourselves moving in between the individual colored teardrops of these faculties of Source, the Ancient One, Prime Creator, until we're floating as a group in the middle of it, and it's vast around us. And we can't tell the difference between the white core of our individuality and the white core that is Source itself. And you hear a deep baritone voice say to you, "Welcome, courageous travelers. Welcome home." Always says the same thing when we get here. What is there to say? It has a subtle, angelic, crystalline, feminine quality to the voice, kind of around it. I can't explain it. It's not a man or a woman. It's a masculine baritone voice with this subtle feminine quality to it. It's one source, but it's made of all the Atmas that exist connected together. This is the supreme being, if you want to call it that. But it doesn't sit on a throne. There's no one to worship. It'd be vanity. It'd be worshiping yourself. It's vanity. We're supposed to know and respect the source, which we're doing now, and then it sends us home. A flash of light. We can't stay there longer. We'd lose our bodies on Earth. They would cease to exist. We're in space around Torellian, still in this oval golden light hull of a spaceship. The sound is still the high note of a flute humming around us because we're bringing back energy from Source. with us to our forms on Earth and letting it pass through those forms into Earth's atmosphere to help bring about this transformation. Boots on the ground. It's the only way it works. It's how we earn our wings, so to speak. And then the Galactic Alliance couple beside you vanish. They're waking up their bodies in chairs on the Emerald Star Cruiser in the ice rings that circle Saturn right now. And you find yourself hovering above near the ceiling with this Galactic Alliance couple beside you again, simply to smile at you and vanish. And you see this energy coming through the ceiling. It's a white golden light. We brought it with us. Goes through the body in the trance state, goes through the field of energy around your body, gets rid of some blocks, and then it goes out into the atmosphere to 3 pyramids stationed on Earth. They're non-physical devices. Projected from the fountains in those to a bigger one, hovering between 2 stable asteroids in the asteroid field between Mars and Jupiter, and then it's sent to the galactic core of the galaxy. Obviously, the beings who run these pyramids are silent mentors. They're not physical beings in the lower universe that can be screwed with and get on ego trips or any of that stuff. No one can use these pyramids for any reason. Any power in the universe can't even approach them unless a master teacher accompanies them for some reason. No weapons will work, nothing works. So they're not made of matter. And yet they exist in the physical universe, not made of matter. This is a first, I might add. So you know the energy passes through you that we brought back to Earth for your benefit. But it does not work for your own selfish needs. It works for your benefit, but it also moves on through you and past you for the benefit of others. This is our true nature. We are back. When you're ready, open your eyes. And when you're ready, you can turn on your mics if you like. I'll ask you to. Then I will bring this part of this journey to a close by stopping the recording. And then we'll have some questions and answers, a little chit-chat, privately, not for the rest of the world. Not yet.